minus 15 degrees, albeit that has come up 2 degrees in the 10 years since the vault has been completed. Minus 17 to minus 15. And there's a reconstruct going on of the tunnel this next month into the 3 cathedral-sized chasms to stop leakage. So here we are inside the vault, and that's a particular box of Icada seeds. There are many Australian grain gene bank Horsham boxes. I carry a couple in myself, and every lot of seeds is in a silver foil pack of DNA, so the scientists know exactly what's in there. A recent disease in the cassava crops of Thailand, the scientists found that seeds collected at random in Colombia were the perfect fix for the problem in Thailand. And if we get hit by super rust in the Mallee or the Riverina, then that could be the case. Icada is one of the best set of wheat stock, seed stock in the world. It happens to be, sadly, in Aleppo in Syria. 5 years ago, they had the sense to put a very good selection of their seeds into Svalbard. 3 years ago, ISIS blew up much of Aleppo and much of that gene bank. They have moved now to Morocco and Lebanon. So they've been back to the gene bank and they've actually retrieved, because whoever donates the seeds, we store them free of charge. I'm chair of the international board, have a hierarchy and headquarters in Bonn, but the ownership of the seeds remains, in this case, with Icada. And not only have they brought them back out, they have planted and they've now produced from some of the core wheats that were stored by Icada, and they've actually put some of it back again just last year, or February this year, into Svalbard for safety as they continue their breeding and development of crops varieties. In addition, we have the Crop Wild Relatives program, whereby we help fund not only the gene banks in poor countries where great collections in Ethiopia, but the roof is coming off the building near Addis Ababa. I've seen it last year. Great collections of rice in the Philippines, but some typhoon damage to that gene bank. And by the way, the clock's about 2 minutes to midnight. China has lost 50% of their rice varieties in the last 100 years. The USA has lost 90% of its vegetable plant diversity in the last 100 years. So that's why we're out collecting crop wild relatives in the Himalayas, near the kingdom of Bhutan, and Nepal, looking for that wild rice, looking for those wheat plants before further urbanisation and smog mean they become extinct, and collecting those crop wild relatives so we can breed them up and so the scientists can then inject the hybrid vigour of the wild relatives into the core wheat, oats, barley and the like. And what's more, I could show you a Rosetta Stone showing the components which have come into the modern varieties of wheat from wild relatives and the components which have come from previous core breeding of wheat. And this particular program is all with natural crossbreeding, it's not with GM, although the GM debate's moved on and it's going to become more about gene editing. And even some of the Greens are realising they were wrong to oppose the GM developments of the last few years. So we are about maintaining plant diversity. We are about helping to boost the food stocks of the world because the population growth continues between now and 2050, and we face food hunger, shortages and the like. And so there's a related initiative flowing from the Crop Trust to build food forever, and the layout and the objectives of that is before you now on the screen. We're a small organisation, the staff are about 30 at headquarters, a very tight budget, a couple $1 million annual expenditure each year. I can tell you the finance committee meetings are always at 2 a.m. Australian time by telephone, Skype, so it's not all beer and skittles, if it is beer and skittles at all. Although when you do get to Bonn, I managed to find the odd bottle of German beer at the end of the board meetings. It is a great privilege to chair with Sir Peter Crane, ex-scientist head of Kew Gardens, where a couple of years ago they found a Bermuda bean tucked away in an envelope which they thought would extinct when they were doing a tidy up of their archives. They've since bred up those Bermuda beans and helping Bermuda to withstand typhoons because of the particular strength of a Bermuda bean to deal with winds, and that's just another example as we work through the board. But they come from all around the world. They're not representing their particular countries. They are there because of their particular skill sets, and I've sort of flowed from being ambassador in Rome to be on this board, and now it's chair for 2 years, and they have term limitations. Lady on the left is Marie Hager. She is the CEO director. She's a former Minister for Oil for the Norwegian government. By the way, they have a $1 trillion sovereign fund. And we've had some small access in the construction of the vault to that fund. So we're lean and mean, but we are about the storage of seeds on ice in the interest of Australian agriculture, in the interest of world sustainable agriculture, onward production, and the overcoming of food insecurity by creating a template which will help build food forever. I am delighted to attend that Congress, the VFF Conference. I wish you well with your onward deliberations. If any of you find a blue diary around Ballarat, here or over the road...
I have all your secrets in my hand.
Where was it? I am in light. Give that lady a round of applause. I'm happy to take questions forever. Good luck to you all. This is vital work. You'll be proud of what Australians, many are doing as part of the seed vault efforts, particularly those working at the AGG at Bush.
So, Jim, just